The important thing to understand, since God's omnipotent and omnipotent, is that what happens to one of us affects all of us. The lowest of the low is the highest of the high, right? All right. So it's very important to understand that when other people, when there's a selfishness, there's suffering through selfishness. Okay. That suffering through selfishness affects us all. You either become competitive and jaded, and and I deserve the best, so I'm going to work hard for the best. It's like, what? Just work together faithfully. That's the best. Apparently, we don't deserve that because we're not doing that, right? So we're getting what we deserve because we're accepting. The one kid, he said, this one lady who's talking to these two people that were white that break things down to the most minute detail and talk about how different people are because of where they their tribalism and where they've ate food, drank water, and had sex for hundreds of thousands of years, right? And how it affected their biology and their psychology. And then, that they're different. It's like, well, technically, yes. Okay. Yeah, of course. There's lots of melanin in their skin. There's not in yours. Okay. You retreated to certain places where, it's harder to survive, to isolate, so you could survive in an isolated community and feel superior surviving in an isolated community because you didn't have what it takes to fight and survive in a crowded community. Like the Gators do. Now it's jump jive, right? Okay, so if you lack the capacity to compete with the other competitors, you're going to go retreat and then find ways to paint yourself as superior to the other competitors because you're intellectually more capable of surviving disgusting environments than people that will fight in the disgusting environment to be the head of the disgusting environment in large groups, right near the equator, right? So you get these people and they talk and it's just science. It's like, okay, but are you understanding the science? Okay, and does it make sense to you? And why does it make you comfortable to feel different, but feel that you have a higher IQ because you want to isolate because you can't compete physiologically and athletically with the people that you think you're superior to, right? And the guy sitting in that chair is like, oh, come on now. What are you going to go snipe me? You're going to put poison in my poison, rocket scientist. You're going to put alcohol and heroin in my body? But I'm the same color as you are. The fuck, right? Okay. Now that there's black scientists that are females at White Sands. When during the Obama administration, okay, which was the brown president, the lady that ran White Sands was a black woman. Okay. Yeah. It's going to be hard to secure your release. Thank Lourdes Dooku. Okay. Thanks, Lourdes Dooku. So, you know what I'm saying? So, so you get these people, and it's like, they had the one little thing, this little girl reminded me of Natalie and the guy with the beard who's talking and doing these comments on this thing. With the little Muslim girl I thought was cute. Okay. We're all being told what to do by white women. She was finding a group that had good moral values and standards that she wanted to be a part of because they're hard to find nowadays. So she went and she looked at Islam and said, wow, But then she said the same thing I did to Malcolm X. It works for men, but for women, it can be kind of tough, right? And that landscape has had to change because of social pressures. So that did here even more to the literal understanding and meaning of the Quran and can't take it, bastardize it, and turn it into magical thinking, right? So they can't do the circumcised Taurus, that bitch can't control stuff. They have trouble doing that stuff now because of the global connectivity, right? And the instant human reaction where the self-righteous, pompous, pious people with the science and the money come in and we're the keepers, we're the wearer of the ring, the bearer of the ring. Right? So she's sitting there telling them, you can't, it's like, well, no, you have to tell people, if you're transgender or you're homosexual, you're denying the gift of life from the glory of God, okay? And you're denying your capacity to continue the gift of the life for the glory of God. Because you're not happy with, but if you find a truthful way of living that's faithful and loving, then you're not going to want to do things to you. You know, I have a very good friend, Chris Montgomery, who is now surgically altered to be classified as a male. Okay, one of the coolest people I ever met. Very empathetic, very strong, very kind, very protecting. Okay, Chris is like I've told Marley Moore Gardner here in town, I'd be proud of you, as my child. You're strong and you're protecting. You've been put into hell and you try to keep other people from being affected by it and abused by it. You're a good kid, right? And Marley Moore Gardner is, She lost her scholarship to New Mexico State University, taking the rap for drug trafficking from her parent. Her dad got her sent to jail because he took the rap because he'd been sent there for a long time because he wouldn't stop doing it. And she lost her basketball scholarship. She was one of the better basketball players in Doña Ana County. History of Doña Ana County. Very talented, very athletic. It's very sad. It's extremely sad. What you guys are willing to do to compete with each other, to feel inferior or superior, or accept inferior or superior. I'm successful. And they had the little girl that he was talking about that's single, and she's like, I just want love in my life, and I'm happy. You're not happy. You're not happy, or you wouldn't be making this video. If you were happy, you'd just sit there and say, someday my prince will come, right? While you're going to your job and enjoying your dog and enjoying your success, your hard work and your food and your exercise and your Tai Chi class and your yoga class. And you know what I'm saying? You'd be happy, right? Yeah. So you're not happy. You want affection that's faithful and consistent and kind from a guy with a bedroom voice who says, come on, baby, let's go make some noise. You're tired of kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream with no, you know what I'm saying? It's 6 o'clock already. I was just in the middle of a dream. I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. It takes me so long just to figure out what I'm going to wear. Blame it on the train because the bus is already there. It's just another manic Monday. And she's not happy. I wish it was Sunday. That's my fun day. I don't have to run day, right? He tells me in his bedroom voice, come on, honey, let's go make some noise. But she doesn't have that. Time goes so fast when you're having fun. It's just another manic Monday. You don't have life. You don't have time. You have a career that is planned for you by people that judge you by their measure of success, by all the things you accumulate in your life that they say that make you a successful human being, that make you a person. A viable, shopping, marketable world citizen, right? And you're sitting there watching, going, and then you get this kid with the beard, and he's sitting there talking to all the, to the bigotry and the selfishness and the tribalism of his side, talking about how bad it is on the other side, and you're like, yeah. Splinter and the plank, the splinter and the plank. One is a splinter, the other's a plank. What are we going to do tonight, Brian? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. And you're like, what the fuck? All right? It's insane. This is the most controversial video on the whole goddamn your internet there. Yeah. There's a tan girl talking to two people that are not even peach. No, they're not peach like that. No, they're kind of pink. Yeah, I don't know, they call us white. We're quite pink, actually. They're quite pink, actually. Lie. And so the pink kids are sitting there saying, well, there's a difference between white and black. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But if you get white ink on a black piece of paper, if you write legibly, you can read the words and try to understand the words the same as if you put black ink on white paper, right? In the beginning, there was the Word, right? What's the difference? Not really, none whatsoever, right? If I take white ink and write on a black sheet of paper, in the beginning there was the Word, and I take black ink and write on a white sheet of paper, in the beginning there was the Word, in the beginning there was what? The Word, right? The ink is black, the page is white. Together we learn to read and write. A child is black, a child is white. No, they're quite pink, actually, and they're brown, like Patrick explained to Aunt Kay. You're not brown. Your hair is black, Aunt Kay, but you're brown. Okay? Pascal, he's black, but is he black? No, there's a different you to him, black is, wow, it's hard for black to stay black. You can see all the, see the black garbage can I put over the Xbox to keep the dust out of it. See the brown on the, see the dust on the television. See the reflection. One thing nice about black is it reflects things real well, and you can see the reflection, right? With white, not quite as much. Well, maybe if I had white, but it depends on the texture of the component. It's just hard to get a component with a white screen for a black screen. I don't know. Do they have? I don't know. Let's examine that further. Why? Let's just be human beings that are kind and loving, appreciate the gift of life, and understand and obey natural laws to sustain it. Let's do that, instead of all this gibberish, all this pinky in the brain shit all over the internet. It's breaking the internet. Newsflash. This is Guy Smiley from up at Newsflash. The internet, because of philanthropy, is already broken. Okay? Hi-ho, this is Kermit the Frog, right? Do you understand? Near, far, this is Grover. Do you guys understand? So, it's like, man, come on now. No, the little girl's cute, and I believe, I agree with her. She needs less stress of being successful and being a female version of Tyler Dunham and Edward Norton's character from the Fight Club. And she needs time away from success and making herself into this perfect, presentable world citizen. And she needs to find someone. Don't go changing, try and please me, right? Never let me down before. Yeah, that likes dogs, obviously, right? So she needs she needs a young man who's handsome and kind and understanding and knows when she gets in her moods and goes, okay, baby, here's one of your moods. Let's go make some noise, right? She needs a Llewellyn, right? No, she doesn't. Llewellyn gets killed by going out hunting and then finding a drug dealer's money in a bag next to a guy who's been shot to have people fighting over the money. Yeah, I shouldn't need Llewellyn. We need the Lord's Prayer. There you go. And the Lord's Prayer, the rest will take care of itself, right? Forgive debt and trespass, love one with their own faithful peace. And then everything else will take care of itself. Everything else will keep fall in line. So fall in line. Boys, that's from a Arrested Development song. Arrested Development? Your development has been arrested by philanthropy. Son of a bitch, we suck again. Okay, but fall in line. Speech. Huh? Yeah, he makes a lot of money off of tribalism. Oh, well, that's insane. That's quite insane. How are me and my wife Sincerely going to survive that? Got to stay away from Earl Greer and his son there. And so where's Jeff Chandler to help us out? One of my favorite movies, Broken Arrow, as a kid. Okay, but movies, they're gonna go away, like Post Office and Jesuit priests and Little Indian Voice named Victor. Yeah, because we don't need them. Well, you're living the applied physics of the Lord's Prayer. You have the faith of Psalms, and you're sustaining it with the wisdom of Proverbs. Why do you need to sit down and try to figure out why the fuck Mr. Moto was going around taking ancient pieces of stuff that they say is worth more than a child's life? That's just batshit fucking crazy. And then there's also, oh, serious here. Shut up, I'm talking here. You need to listen. You talk like shit. I don't. And so you're all you do is make fertilizer. You just fill up all the mortuaries and and the mass graves in the Middle East and in the Holocaust. I need more money to fuck, and people die to liquidate their assets to make a great German war machine, a great Arab war machine, a great American war machine. We need all the minerals from Greenland to continue to win with our great American war machine. Great American melting pot. Money ain't real, you crazy fucking bitches. Why you hoes always ask for so much money? Bitch better have my money. Pimps are disgusting and empathetic. Yes, they are. Somebody tell Ice-T. And then Ice-T, tell everybody you labeled a pimp. They might want to take your label off. Because Sheldon's going to label you and then organize you and put you in a closet with a letter from Howard's dad and Bernadette's diary. Okay? You know that's all screenplaying, right? It ain't real. It's ain't them dogs' real voices, right? Well, thanks for spoiling it for the rest of us. You're welcome. But do you guys, Clampets go to Maui, right? Got your igloo suitcases and your Piggly Wiggly bags. All righty then. You guys understand? Anybody know how to mount a well? Don't do it. Where are you going to put it? Ain't going to fit in your trailer. We don't live in trailers anymore. We got houses. Why would you want to fill a home full of carcasses of dead animals and tell your children this is what love's all about? Dada, I like to play fetch with the dog. I don't want to fetch the dog, bring him in on rollers and say, this is when hair was on his back when someone got too close to the porch. We'll do that when we found what we've been tracking. Todd, leave Copper alone. He's supposed to hunt you down and leave you to kill you. Foxes are a trip. Yeah, foxes, yeah. They just want love. No, foxes are not. Foxes are animals. They survive. Can they stop and eliminate abuse? No, only human beings can do that. Animals typically only abuse when they are reacting to human beings. You like pit bulls that kill just to kill? All right. Otherwise, they kill to eat. And then once they eat, they usually rest. Not knowing that there's a man with a gun getting ready to shoot them because, you didn't eat any of those chickens, just killed them all. Right? So human beings throw off animals' patterns of behavior of what is rational and what animals do because they're reacting to the human beings. So that pit bull that killed all our chickens at our chicken coop, we were being monitored by the U.S. military. So the dog was affected by the people that were monitoring us. Wow, that's pretty intense, isn't it, though? So you want a pit bull not to run around? No, they go around and kill other dogs because they're in their territory. What? Yeah. It's a big territory. It's a dog. That's why they tried to kill Zeke, and that's why they killed the dog next door. It's territorialism, survival of the fittest. Hunter-gatherers, fight or flee. Okay, hi, I'm the Gracious Good Shepherd. I was upset because I said, dang, if I'd just been like 30 seconds sooner, I'd been able to hop the fence and scare the pit bulls away and save the neighbor's dog. And the other two dogs, because animal control was called and put down the other two dogs. I've been able to save all three dogs. Would it have lasted? I might have been able to go over and tell the neighbor and say the pit bulls got out and tried to kill the neighbor's dog. And that can cause you big trouble. So we're going to try to find a way to make sure that the kennel you keep these guys in, they can't get out of. Okay, I'll help you out if you need it. Well, because I'm that kind of a neighbor. Well, I'm a human being. A Muslim? Yes, I am Islam. A Christian? Yes, I am the Christ. Okay. Because the Christ is the source of Islam. It says so in the very first 3 pages of the Holy Quran. Okay. I am here to save the spirit of Jesus from the mass murder of the tribalism of the Vatican. I am speaking up, but I tell you that all the people that are murderers in my village will take my life and turn it into the same life that the Vatican has done to Jesus. And then what happened? They've been debating ever since. It's the Sunnis, it's the Sufis, it's not the... It's the Shia, it's the Sunnis, it's the Shia, it's the Sunnis. Is it the Sufis? No, Sufis, it's not the Sufis. There's too little of them to have a big effect on mass murder. They're just telling the other two that they're wrong. Okay, but who's living the Lord's Prayer? None of them. Okay, so they're all wrong, but one's wronger than the other. Splinter in the plank. What are we going to do tonight, Brain? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Okay. Just forgive debt and trespass, love one. That's our faithful peace. Well, then your group doesn't have to take over the world to give it peace. You give yourself peace. You lead yourself to peace. I got a real objective here. I'm a heck of put up a peace sign and please fine. You know what? Feeling good. We could, we would, we should. Stop. Think for a moment, okay? But don't overthink. Right? Overthinking sucks. Okay, guys, I love you. All right, peace.